right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday and a busy, busy month of January. And I think February, we've got more events this month, man. It is the absolute most important part of my job, though. Introducing people like Don Hartford to our wine drinking people. I've been following Don since day one, and that's since the mid-90s, at least, when he started making his wine. I think 94 was the first vintage of Hartford Court wines, and they have gone on to secure some of the top vineyard sites throughout Northern California, and not just stuff that these guys own, because, you know, Don is the CEO of Jackson Family Wines. But he still takes a lot of pride in this winery that he started. He's out there still promoting it himself and pays a lot of attention to what goes on here, even though he's got people that run it. He knows his wines, the vineyards that make his wines, like the back of his hand. Just absolutely an incredible experience tasting wines with Don. A great opportunity to learn about some top vineyard sites and the characteristics that they give these wines, because they're all very distinct. They make like 25 different wines at Hartford Court now. Some of the best Zinfandel made in California. Yes, I just said it. Best Zinfandel made in California. Even though we didn't have them on this evening, I think the Chardonnays and Pinots resemble what you find in Grand Cru and Premier Cru Burgundy. All right? You can't compare California to Burgundy, but that's how Don did it. That's how he rolled the first time I met him, and everybody liked his wines better than all these Grand Cru Burgundies. And today, I think the wines just continue to get better from Hartford Court. And the scores continue to get higher as well. The Russian River Chardonnay we started out with, an excellent example of an entry-level Russian River Chardonnay, that lovely tropical fruit, a little hint of creme brulee, vanilla spice, and this wine has got a nice price point to it, $33. Always in the running for one of our top picks from Russian River Valley. The 2011 Stone Cote, though, another level of concentration and richness. This is from a select parcel of the Durrell Vineyard, one of the most intense of all the Chardonnays. The terroir here is an uplifted riverbed, so these wines are very mineral-driven from this vineyard. You get that lovely nectarine, white peach, and lemon drop candy fruit, some creme caramel notes, really rich and creamy on the tongue. This wine's got a lot of ripe fruit and that pronounced minerality you get from this vineyard site, really long and lengthens the finish. Most excellent juice. It's $67.50. The Four Hearts Chardonnay. This is from Tom Dellinger's vineyard, which these are the only people that get fruit from Tom Dellinger. He doesn't sell fruit, but because of their relationship, these guys get a little bit. They just make a few hundred cases of this wine. Always one of my favorite Chardonnays. And these are heirloom clones of Chardonnay that are 40-year-old. Some of the oldest Chardonnay vines in all the Russian River Valley here. And really well-endowed bouquet. Some lovely honeysuckle, floral notes, ripe tropical fruit, a touch of vanilla bean creme brulee, and wonderful intensity on the palate. This wine's got a nice hint of toasty oak spice and a little candy ginger at the end. Really long layered finish. Most excellent juice. But my favorite Chardonnay tonight, the Seascape. This 2013 Seascape, one of the most intense Chardonnays that you will find from California. And it is from just one ridgeline away from the ocean. Usually you don't want to plant vineyards if you can see the Pacific Ocean up here, because it is just too cold to get the grapes ripe every year. And someone said, why is the Seascape more expensive than the other wines? Well, it's because some years they can't get the grapes ripe. So you have to account for that when you're putting your cost of production of this wine. 1,000-foot elevation just outside of the town of Occidental. This wine's got an array of whetstone kind of minerality. This almost margarita quality to it. This lemon lime character and sea salt, and even more pronounced on the second day. This wine has got incredible richness to it. 2013, an amazing vintage out here. Lots of that zesty citrus showing on the finish. Long layered, that salty, briny, minerally quality showing through also. And just the right hint of fresh new oak spice on this wine. Killer juice, man. One of the best Chardonnays that I have had from California over the last year. All right, the Pinot Noir Russian River, also an entry-level wine, a blend of different vineyard sites. This wine's got that lovely fresh blackberry, blueberry, nutmeg character that you get from the Russian River Valley, that cola quality, and allspice. Really nice richness on the palate as well. Silky smooth tannins, and lively balance in this wine. The White House is going to be pouring this wine for their events over the next 3 months. These guys have been featured at the White House a couple of times. Excellent juice here. The Land's Edge Pinot, my pick for top Pinot Noir of 2015. We had it in our gift boxes this year, and this is 90% from that Far Coast vineyard, 10% from Seascape, and the Land's Edge label is the true Sonoma Coast So there's a lot of stuff in that Sonoma Coast AVA that's nowhere near the coast here. This wine has got a rich bouquet here, brown spices, cola, earth, dark raspberry, cherry fruit. Notes of that cocoa dust coming out here as this wine opens up. A thick and velvety wine on the tongue. Wonderful concentration here. A lovely velvety, silky texture we love about Pinot Noir, echoing that spice and nuance, the coffee and cocoa from the nose through the finish. Most excellent juice, the Land's Edge 2013. The Far Coast, also most excellent. Wow, this wine's got just a dizzying array of dark raspberry and cherry fruit. Lovely richness on the palate. That coffee and Asian spice. Really big and chewy. This wine has got some tannins here to it. And just an array of that spice, Asian, cocoa dust, and really nice acidity. These wines are big Pinot Noirs, but also have finesse and elegance. Most excellent juice. The crowd favorite this evening was the Macleans, and this wine was named after Don's son, and hopefully he takes over the family business, man. I'll tell you, these guys, like I said, have got some of the top vineyard sites, not only in California, but in the world. They own property in Australia, in Tuscany, in Bordeaux, and anyways, Pinot Noir from the Sonoma Coast, to me, is really some of the top you'll find in California. This Occidental area, very remote, and they've got bears and they've got wild cougars on their land, so anytime they go out to show people this vineyard, they make sure that they've got some firearms ready just in case they see the wild animals out there. But this wine's got a lot of that rich, dark raspberry fruit, almost like coulis, raspberry coulis-like character, pretty floral notes, and that distinct minerality of this vineyard, man. Just most excellent juice. The Hartford Arrendel, well, that's always been my favorite of all of them. It turned out to be my favorite this evening also. This is one of the oldest vineyards in the Russian River. It was planted by Warren Dutton in 1975, and this wine's got a really amazing bouquet, fresh-cut flowers, allspice, black cherry liqueur, really forward and seductive, but wow, what intensity this wine has on the palate. Just layers of like cherry pie fruit and exotic spices. Wonderful freshness, though, and balance. This finish here just seems to go on and on. Bravo. Excellent stuff at the Hartford Court tasting. We sold everything we had on the table. That is my sign of a successful event. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying, remember, always drink the good stuff first.